Before starting the tutorial, let's know what is Mastercam. As obvious from the name Mastercam, it is a CAM software generally used for machining any type of CNC machining, which can be lathe, milling, plasma, laser cutting. So first we create a solid part and then perform all the machining operations in the Mastercam and generate a code. So this code runs the CNC machine and the part is manufactured. So let's start with the units. Go to File, Configuration, and here you can see the units are inches. These are units for analyze measurement. These are analysis units. So I will set it to millimeter and I also set it to metric. Okay, it's inch, now it's metric. Okay, first we will start with the wireframe, which is basically most of these operations are of sketches or 2D, and these are some 3D operations which we will discuss later. So let's start with the point position. With the help of this command, we can create point at any position on the screen. You can see on the click, points are created. So now these points can be used for joining lines and in the many other operations we will see in the exercises. Let's connect some. Okay, so the line could be of three types. This was the two endpoints. Now let's see midpoint line. In this case I will select midpoint and the length is increasing symmetrically on both sides of the selected point. Okay, like this. And the third type of line is multi-line. So when we activate this command, the command is not deactivated until we finish the operation, like this. See, command is not ending by itself until we end it. Okay, now come to the second type of point, which is dynamic point. It is used to create a point on any location at the line. I select this line and see, I can select any point. Let's say this, a point is created like this. Now in this case we can create point at our own choice, but we can't measure the distance. If we want to point at the specific distance, then we will use point segment. So now I will select this line and let's say I want to divide it into 4 parts. 4 parts. Now as you can see, the line is divided to 4 parts. Okay, similarly, if we don't know how much parts we want to divide the line, then we use the distance. Let's say I want to add a point after 2 mm. So I select this line and now a lot of points. Third type of point is point endpoints. So let's delete all this for explaining the type. Now I will draw some lines like this and let's activate 2 endpoint line. Now when I will click this command, it will add points at the end of each line. See, points at the end of line are created. And the next is point nodes, which we can do using SP lines. So we will discuss it with SP lines. So for now we will move to the line types. So first is the parallel line. With the parallel line command, we can create line parallel to an existing line. Let's say I want it in a distance of 15. Okay, now it is at this side, but if we want to switch the side, I will click on opposite side. See, the line is switched. And if I click on both sides, the parallel line at the both side of the selected line is created. Similarly, another command is line perpendicular. this command will create a line of the specific length, let's say 20, perpendicular to the selected line, which I select this one. I can specify any location if I say. Similarly, we can switch it to another side, opposite side, and on the both sides. Okay, and third is the line closest, for which we will need circle. So first let's define circle, and then I will select any center point, and let's say its radius is 30. So now I will draw in a line. What if I want to connect this line with this circle with the minimum possible distance? So I will select line closest, I will select this arc and this line. See, the line the minimum possible distance is created. Okay, and another is line bisect. If I want to bisect this line, the line is, let's say line is of 30. Okay, make it 60. And if I want multiple lines, then now I have option to select one of them. Let's say I want to keep this one. If I will click single, so the by default line between the selected line will be created. If I will click multiple, Mastercam give 4 options, so we can keep any of them. And the third one is line tangent through the point. In this case, we can specify a point. I will select any point. Let's say I will select this. Now see, the tangent line is created. Now I can specify length here as well as here. Let's say 50. Now I want another line, so I will OK and create new operation. Select the circle, and let's say this tangent with the line on like this. Delete all these, and now come to the 3-point arc. With the help of this, we can create an arc with using 3 points. So first, second, and third point control the shape and radius of the line. Let's select any point. Okay. So another function which is related to the arc is close arc. Suppose we have an existing arc and we want to close it. So I will select close arc, and I will click on this end selection. See, the arc is closed to form a circle. Okay, now we'll discuss another type of line. It's a tangent arc, so I need some lines for this. Let's say first line is this, and second line is this. Now tangent arc. First I will click on this line, and then I have to select a tangent point, which I will, let's say this one. Now I have 2 options to select an arc. I can select any one. Let's say we will keep this one, so it's like this. Okay. Now we will circle edge point. Now in this case we can define circle with the 3 endpoints. Let's say first this. Now here 2 is activated, so I will select any point in the circle. Now if I want to create circle that will be tangent to 2 other bodies, so in this case I will select one line and the second line. Now the circle tangent to this line is created. Now I can specify its diameter, let's say 15, so it is moved below. If I make it 30, now it's here. If I will further increase the radius, this will move down 50. See, this is moved to this point now. Now if I want to create using 3 points, let us create some specific geometry for that, so it will be easy to understand. First I will draw a line like this, second line like this, and the third this one. Now I will activate this arc tangent. Now if I want to add circle between 3 points, so I will select 3 points, 3 points tangent. Now I will select this one, and this one. So in this case automatically a circle will be created, and we will not be able to change its diameter or radius. Okay, so here, now if I want a circle with 3 points, so I will select first point, now second point, and see the third point is controlling its position and radius. So let's make it a bit smaller like this, and we didn't cover 2 points tangent, so let's do 2 points tangent. So first I will select this line and then this line, so a circle is created. Now I can change its location by increasing its diameter like this. Regular shapes. Next is SP line, which is used to create irregular. Next is SP line, which is used to create irregular shapes. So there are different types of SP lines. First is manual SP line. So I will select this, and I can specify any point on the screen like this to create any shape. Okay. Now I will create another line to understand the second coming operation. This, and another type is the blended SP line, which create a SP line with the help of 2 existing lines. So I will select first curve and any point on this curve, let's say this point, and second, and then a second point on this. So it will automatically create an SP line based on 2 existing. Now here are some of the operations. By default it is trim, so if I will uncheck it, now all the lines exist. Now if I will click on trim break, so it is currently trim, so both entities are trimmed. If I select entity 1, so one of the entities is trimmed, entity 2 and second entity is trimmed. If I click on break, so entity 2 is breaked, which is in this case it is entity 2. See, it is broken down into 2 parts. If I click on entity 1, so first entity is broken down into 2 parts. If I on both, see, the both are broken down into 2 parts. So let's keep it like this. Now let's discuss this point which we had leave to the SP line. So I will create an SP line for this operation like this. Now I will go to point nodes. It will create points on the basis of which we have created this SP line. See, I will click and the points with the help of which we created this SP line. So the points are generated at their locations. It is very useful in identifying the key points in SP line. So let's delete it, and the next function is bold circle. So first let's go with the full circle and number. By default number is 8, so I will select any base point like this. So I will click Alt plus F1 to fit into screen. So here is the outer diameter, which in this case is 200. We can change it. Let's make it 150. Okay, and another main point is the arc diameter. So it is 10. If I make it 15, see, this diameter will be changed. Okay, so the type is arcs, points and both. If I click on point, so the only points will be created at these locations. See, point. And if I click on both the circles and the points will be created. Similarly, we can specify start and end angle. If I click on start angle, if I start from 45, so the all circles will be shifted. Another important function is a bold circle. So there are some cases. First we will select full circle and number. So let's select base point and now change it to number. Let's say I want to go with 4 number. So there are 4 circles and I can specify the diameter. So let's say diameter is like this, 150, and start angle is 60, so I can change it to 0. See, now it is in an order. Okay, if we want to slightly rotate, so I will change its angle to 45. Okay, now these are rotated from their original position. Similarly, the next is, but now you can see that both is selected. Both means both the circles and the points. If I clicked on arc, now only the circles are created. If I click on points, then only points will be created, and both the points and circles are created. And okay, now let's change to, now another useful function is the partial circle, with the help of which we can identify number and angle. In the first case we can only specify number or angle. In this case we can specify both of them. Now let's say I need 3 circles at the angle of 15 degrees. So only this portion is used. If I increase angle to, let's say, 30, it is like this. If I increase it to 90, so now half of the area is used. Okay, Control A, delete. Now another is rectangle. So rectangle may be of 2 types. One is of 2 points, which is like this. We can select create a rectangle by specifying 2 opposite points. We can control dimension here, let's say 180 and 80, like this. However, I want to add another operation, but this time I want to create a rectangle from the center point. So there, and see, the rectangle is created from the center. So again we can control dimension here. Now what if I want these corners to be round? So for this we can do it using 2 methods. First I will do it with this command, rectangular shapes, and another method is this fillet, which we will discuss later. Okay, so first go to rectangular shapes. Now see, here we have a lot of choices. In the previous command we have only 2 choices to set the origin, which was the center and the opposite corner. Now in this case we have multiple options, so I will go with the center, and it is rectangular and base point. Base point and rectangular, like this. Now if I will select 2 points, now we have to select 2 opposite points, like this. Now if I want the corners to be round, so I will go with this oblong. So in this case I have to specify fillet radius. Let's say fillet radius is 2. So rectangle with the fillet radius 2 is created. And if I want a single D, like this, as shown in this box, see here it is created. Now if I want it to be double D, I will click on simply double D. Now 1D is up to this center point and another D is here. So 2D are connected. Okay. Now there are some other shapes, which is first is polygon. So by default it is 6-side polygon. Let's say the center point and radius is this. Now you can see that polygon is out of the circle. If I want the polygon inside of the circle, so I will click on corner. See, now the polygon is inside the circle. Similarly, here are the sharp corners. Mean corner fillet is 0. If I want to change it to, let's say, 3, okay, we cannot observe 3, let's make it 10. Okay, now you can see the corners are wrong, and if I want these corners to be at some other position, so I can rotate this, let's say at 45. Now it is rotated. The next operation is, let's first delete this. The next operation is ellipse. Now let's first select center point. Now it is the, as you can see, inter x-axis radius or select point. Let's say I'll select this point, and now I have to specify the y-axis. So like this. See, the is created. Type is nub, arc segments, and line segment. These are an advanced option, so we will not go to this. We will just change our parameters here, which is, let's say, change dimension 60 and this to 100. If we want some of the portion of this ellipse, so what we can do is we can specify any start angle, let's say at 90, and end angle is 2. So it is like 3/4 of the total. And if I select 180 as start angle, so it will be half, like this. Okay, we can also rotate it, let's say at 45, like this. Okay, delete it. And the next is helix, but it is we can do it with some 3D part, so which we have not discussed yet. Next shape is spiral. So radius is the inner radius of this circle, this inner circle. Height is the total, is like from this point to this point. Revolutions are the number of revolutions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Vertical pitch is the distance between these two lines vertically. It is initially it is 10, finally it is 10. So the distance between all of them is constant. If I want initially to be 5 but final 10, then see, so we cannot observe it. Let's make it 1. Now if you can observe the chain, okay, for this I have to make it 1 and 10. Now you can observe that the initial pitch is 1 and then it is increasing to 10. Similarly we can reverse it. If I have 10 and 1 and 10 and 1, now it is 1 at the outer end and 10 at inner end. Similarly we can change the direction. By default it is counterclockwise. I can change it to clockwise. Okay, let's discuss some modification operation, which are fillet, chamfer, and offset. So let's draw a rectangle. Okay, Alt F1 to make it in. Now if I want to round the corner, so once the we have any shape, we cannot use the rectangular shape command to draw a square with the round corner, so we will use this command. So I will select these two corners, and it is currently it is 5. We can change it 10. Let's make it 20. Now the setting is trim. If I uncheck this box, now see these lines are still as part of drawing. If I want to remove this, I will click on trim entities, so these lines are now removed. Similarly, I can select this one and this one. Now the another operation is chamfer. So the chamfer is of three types. One is the one distance. So this one distance, both sides have the same distance. Let's say 10. Now I will select these two lines. See, the corner are chamfered at the same distance. If I want one side of both the sides have the separate dimension, then I will click on two distances. So see, the first distance, which is this one, is 10 mm and the second is 5 mm, and distance and angle. If I want to specify, so the first distance is 10 and angle is 45, which means both the distance are same. Let's change the angle to 60. Now you can see the change. Okay, and the last is width. Width is the distance from this point to this point. So width is, let's say width is 10. Okay. Another operation is offset. It is used to create an entity at a certain distance, let's say, and now I will indicate the direction like this. Okay, we have now moved. If I will move, this line is moved, and similarly join. Okay, the line is joined to form a closed loop in a slot. Okay, the lines are joined but with a circular ends. Okay, now I will set it to copy. Now if I will select this geometry and we will offset it to this. Okay, offset failed. Distance is too much. Let's make it 3. Now see, we have created another surface.